What do I do with a profit when I'm consistently making withdrawals? So this was a question that was asked in this Q&A. I cover it in detail. It's so important when you're scaling up, or if you're someone right now looking to get funded, or you're in a position of funding right now and you're getting to those next stages, that you know what to do with the money. This is why the wealthier get wealthier, because they understand that money needs to work for them. I'm really excited to get into the details of this Q&A, and there's going to be lots of value drops, so make sure you take some notes and you pay attention. Right, there's a reason why the top traders in the world understand this, that your mindset needs to be right, it needs to be in place, and it needs to be dialed in for you to be able to trade larger amounts of money. No one's going to glorify and come online and say, right, you know, I said I was funded, I'm now unfunded. It's just not going to work like that. And again, this is where people get led astray and they get lured into, yeah, but that person made 30% in the morning. Yeah, but he's not making it every morning. Just do the maths, use your brain. And this is what most people are not doing. So if you're someone who's more serious and wants to invest in themselves in something more specific, well then of course, there's a reason why I created the Rewired program in the first place, because it's designed for traders. It's designed for you to understand how to get that edge in your head. It's designed in a way that each module is compounded to literally rewire the neural pathways in your mind, so you actually think and you repair that broken mindset that most of the society has, because you are a product of your environment, your school system, all of these things. And I understand that because I've gone through it. I've been in this industry plus 14 years. So if you're someone who's more serious, then you do, hands down, you do yourself a disservice by not going through the program. You want to know more about it, the link is in the description. You have everything there. That is the cold, harsh reality, is that most traders will never actually take the leap in the areas that they need to. So got to keep it moving forward. You want to succeed, then you've got to put some skin in the game. That's how success works. Right guys, so let's dive into these questions. First and foremost, thank you for sending them in. I thought I'd just do a Q&A. I've not done one in a while, and we get so many questions on a regular basis. There are some really important, there's a super interesting one in here, but ones in which that you need to pay attention of. So take the notes, make sure that you listen to these small details, because they do make a difference. So the whole point of these Q&As is not to just answer very standard questions, but more questions that are really going to help you. For example, this one, let's start off with this one. This is one that's never been asked before. Are some people not meant to be traders, but something else, or is my inconsistency talking? When do you set a line that is this not for me? The thing is, I don't think there is anything called a natural born trader. What I do think is you have people that are naturally, or they already possess a lot of traits that make traders successful. The reason why people don't succeed in trading, of course it's harder, but listen guys, it's hard to do anything. This is the reality. It's hard to be an NBA player. It's hard to be a Premier League footballer. It's hard to be a champion, right? It's hard to be successful. That's the whole point, which is why I find it strange when people say, oh, trading is hard and a small percentage of people succeed. A small percentage of people succeed in everything. That's the reality. Trading, yes, it does demand a lot for you. So I don't think there's a set, there's only a certain type of people that can succeed in trading, because no one is born a successful trader. You do have people, like I said, that they just possess a lot of the traits. So I mean traits by, they've got it wired in their DNA, that they're just persistent. And it could be life circumstances, it could be the way they was mentored by their dad, or just their uncles, or just the role models in their life at that time. That can play a huge role, you know, because everybody grows up differently. That could have influenced those individuals. So you should actually use that to your advantage, that you don't have to be this hyper intelligent person to succeed in trading. But what you do have to do is that you have to ask good questions. The question that you should be asking yourself is that, what do successful traders do? What are their traits? What traits do you have of those? And what traits don't you have? And what you're going to find is that all the traits that they have, they're all learnable. And if you set, oh, this is the line in the sand, which this is what most traders do. They'll set for example, they'll do it this year. They'll say, I'm going to give it to the end of this year. You've already lost. You may as well throw in the towel at this stage. If you've given yourself a timeline as to you're just going to see where you're at the end of the year, you're finished. You were finished when you just uttered those words. Remember, A negative thought is already powerful in a negative way. If you say that stuff out loud, it's 70% more potent than the thought alone. So you start talking these things and having these conversations with maybe other traders that are also not successful, saying, I'll give it to the end of the year. You're finished. You already lost there. And then what you're going to do throughout the year, you're going to find problems and reasons as to why you couldn't succeed in trading in the first place. And this will normally be blaming strategies, blaming mentors, blaming resources, blaming brokers, blaming market conditions, blaming your home life. You'll look for everything. So this is common in just people that quit and have a loser mindset in general. So what I would say is this. Firstly, ask yourself the question, why did you start trading in the first place? That's normally a good place to start. Visualize what you actually want, get it down on paper, write it down, create a plan, and actually get around people that are winning. And then ask them good questions. And if you just humble your ego, leave it at the door and ask the relevant questions, I promise you, you'll get the answers. You'll get the right answers and you'll know where to focus on, where to prioritize, and you can actually move forward and just get rid of these timelines. If you're truly dedicated to succeed, then you'll do it. But if you've put a timeline on how long you're just going to give it to, then you've already lost. Right, let's take a look at the next question. So this kind of leads into the last one. It's so interesting how many variations of this question. So how important is psychology actually relevant because I make money without learning it? Right, so what you're saying is that you're not sure as to how important psychology is because you've probably made some profit and not really worked on it already. And your mind's probably telling you, well, I don't need to, again, this is a high level ego there and then if you just read the question. Because look at how relevant, the word relevant, which is important. So what your mind is saying is that, yeah, how relevant really is that because I don't need to work on it. So you've seen it, you've seen psychology important. The crazy thing about this is that it goes unpunished in the early stages. So dangerous. I've experienced it so many times over and it's painful, believe you me. So think about it. If you already know of knowledge, institutional, high retail, the best traders that you know all value psychology, isn't that a black and white enough answer to even ask that question? But no, a short-term bit of profit, and this is why the ego is so dangerous, because even though someone knowingly would know that, they would value their own opinion that is not yet successful because they've had a winning streak of, let's say, 5 or 6 trades and they've made a bit of profit. It's crazy. It still baffles me, the people in this industry that want to succeed and won't just ask simple basic questions. Go to a successful trader and say, what traits do I need to be successful? It's so simple, just ask good questions. So yes, psychology is important. It's so important. And I can promise you one thing, and this is a guarantee. It may not punish you now, but it will in the future. And when you've got more money on the table, that if you've miraculously scaled up without working on your mindset, unless you've just got this next level mindset and was born with every single trait possible to succeed in trading, then fair enough. But for the majority of the people in the world, they have to work on it. They have to work on their relationship with money. They have to gain experience in the market. They have to be kicked in the teeth by the market. They have to go back to the drawing board, experience a lot of pain, learn how to overcome that. So for the majority of people, psychology is your foundation. It's what is going to enable you to scale up. So there's not very many examples of a trader that you hear, right, I scaled up, I'm trading $1 million plus, and yes, psychology is just not important. It never really bothered me. Of course it's important. It's so crucial towards your success. And if you don't work on it now, you'll build bad habits and you'll wish you worked on it sooner. Because it's only when you go through a really bad losing streak, it's just like, whoa, this is not what I expected, or all of your confidence is on the floor and you don't know what to do with it, and you've got no way of actually building that back up because you didn't actually take the time to understand the importance of this framework, not just for trading, but what it does for you in life in general. So these are simple things, and they just go back to the root. Just ask good questions, you're going to get better answers. So yes, psychology is paramount to your success. Right, so next question. This is a good one. This is, again, going back to good questions. The quality of your questions will determine the way that you think. Look at this one. What should I do with profits that I withdraw? See, that's a good question. That's a question that you should all be asking. Why? Because it's forward thinking. So you're either in a position right now that you're consistently making profits and You're making more money than what you usually have done before, and now you just don't know what to do with it. So you're wondering, right, do I scale up my lifestyle? Do I just go and indulge in things that I never had? Or do I make it work for me? Or you're someone who's not consistent and that you're thinking in the future, right, when I've got money, what do I do with it? It's a good way to think. If you only have time to work on trading, you never have time to make money, which is why your money needs to work for you. Investments, for example. Have your money working for you, whether it's in property, whether it's in crypto, whether it's in stocks, whether it's in another business. You need to have your money working for you. And at the earlier stages, I'm a big believer in master one or two things. You know, don't try and create 7 multiple sources of income all at once, because you'll be a jack of all. But the reality is, you need to have a plan as to what you're going to do with that. Even if you're dollar cost average, right? You need to have something in place. Otherwise, you'll get that money, you'll look at it and go, right, I've never had this money before. Oh, now I'm in a position where I can buy a nicer car. Now I can actually move out, or I can get a nicer apartment or a nicer house. And then what you do is you just take that money that you've made and you just increase your lifestyle. So you're not actually better off. And the crazy thing is, most traders do it too quickly as well. As soon as they get the money, right? Because it's almost like a drug. I've never had this before, I need to use it. They become addicted to spending their money on nice things. They go to nicer restaurants, they buy nicer aftershaves, they buy nicer clothes, they go out more frequently, they buy nicer food. They increase their lifestyle instantly without really a plan. So what should you do? That's the big question. Create a plan and research beforehand what you're going to do. I can't tell you what to do. I can't tell you the exact investment that you need to focus on. I can't tell you the exact crypto you need to do. That's not my responsibility, right? I'm not your financial advisor, right? If you're in our group and you're in our community, of course we recommend things. However, you are your own person, right? So you need to make your own decision as to what you need to do. But if you don't even have a plan for that, you're already lost. Let's say, for example, you got 20K, you made that withdrawal. Well, how much are you going to put into another trading account, maybe a personal account that you're looking to scale up? How much percentage are you going to put into, let's say, the crypto market? If you're already investing in crypto, you want to get into cryptocurrency. How much are you investing into stocks? How much are you investing into maybe real estate if you have that kind of capital to get involved with? And how much of that are you investing back into yourself, which is what most people will neglect, right? Because that's what really a lack of success is. It's neglect over a period of time compounded. So it's really about creating a plan, and it's exciting. You should be excited about it. You should be thinking about, right, once I'm making X, this amount on a regular basis, what am I then going to do with the money to make it work for me? Because it's not just about, I'll just put it all in my trading account and make it again. That will work for a period of time, but you want to think bigger than that. Your money has to be working for you on not just the hours that you put into your craft, which is trading as well. So think bigger, plan for the future, and you might not have a very specific, you might not need to know the exact stock there and then, but have a rough idea and have a good idea as to what distribution of percentage that you're going to keep investing in yourself and into things that are going to make you money while you're not actually doing the thing in the first place. Right guys, so last question, and this kind of sums up most of these questions, which is, it kind of stems from the same thing. So bear with me. Inflation has hit me hard, but I still want to be successful, but I'm struggling mentally. Now, a lot of the questions that were sent in were around, mindset, self-sabotage. Think about that. If what has happened in the world over the last 2 to 3 years is not a big enough wake-up call of it is, I don't know what will be, that you need to take your life into your own hands. So some people will sit there and say, I'm working a job, but I can't really afford to invest in my education to learn how to trade. You cannot afford not to. Do you know how dangerous that is? I can guarantee you within a high degree, if you downloaded that person's bank statements, that they waste £200-300 a month on crap that doesn't move them towards their goals, which is why they're in that same mindset in the first place. But no, investing a certain amount into their education or into a skill doesn't just have to be trading, but into something that's going to benefit their future. They'll say, no, I can't afford to do that. Yeah, but you spend £100 a month on alcohol. How are you telling me you can't afford to do that? The reality is, it's not a priority, and you're going to bury your head in the sand. So again, if it's not a big enough wake-up call for you, I don't know what will be. That when you're not in control of making income and you're just literally working a job and that's it, and you've got no plans after that or to make another side income, then you're just leaving it in the hands of, you could literally be let go, you could be made redundant. I was made redundant, right? This was, of course, very many years ago, but I know what it feels like, just within a click of a finger. You just let go. Well, then what? You got to search for another job, more stress. Why not take the precious commodity, that the time that you have, into not living a mediocre life? Think about is that mentality going to help you become successful? Always telling yourself, well, I don't really have the money. Well, do overtime, work harder, make more money in the current control that you have, so then you can use that money to invest back into yourself to make more money. Otherwise, you're always going to be in that situation. So yes, inflation might have hit you hard, prices gone up, gas prices, electric. I get it, I understand. But then what about your own habits? Have you changed them? It's like, no, I can't sacrifice my cigarettes and my alcohol and going out every Friday. Can't sacrifice that, so no, I can't afford to be successful. Well, wait until 5 years down the line and you can't get your own home, you can't buy a house, you can't get a mortgage, if that's your priority, you can't build a family, you can't build any wealth or legacy. And then as you have more responsibilities, you're gonna be in a tougher situation where you're gonna literally write off all your success, because you're gonna say, well, I've got a kid, I've got this, I've got that. You're gonna give yourself more reasons as to why you can't be successful. So if you're 19, 18, 21, 22, 23, all the way up to there's not really a limit, but within that realm of which you probably don't have responsibility, you are living at home, or in a house share or whatever, this is your prime time to be doing whatever you can to be moving forward to be successful. And there is no stories of people online just learning from YouTube and then I became a 7-figure trader by watching free tutorials. Where do you hear that? It doesn't exist. It's because you have to put skin in the game if you want to be successful in any industry. Forget trading, property, business. You have to put skin in the game. So do yourself a favor, invest in yourself. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to the long-term, future successful version of you. Thank you for watching. I really hope you took immense value from just everything that I've shared with you, the knowledge. This comes from my life, my experience, pain, failure, how I've overcome these things. And I honestly believe the quality of your life will be determined by the quality of the questions that you consistently ask of yourself on a daily basis. I'll catch you in the next episode. Let me know what you resonate with in this one. If there's any breakthroughs, any things that have really highlighted to you as you've been listening, I would absolutely love to know. So make sure you drop them in the comments. Let's keep it moving forward. Catch you in the next Q&A. Have an incredible day, morning, evening, wherever you are.